and then roll call.
Okay, I'll call to order the, oh, do you mind muting your mic? You're gonna get that echo. Last time. Call to order the special city council meeting for June 28th, 2021. Do you mind reading the call?
You are hereby notified that a special meeting of the Ravenna City Council has been called for Monday, June 28th, 2021 at 5:30 p.m. The purpose of the meeting is to discuss and or act upon ordinance 2021-0661 regarding the appropriation of funds to fix the HVAC issue in the police department.
All right, and do a roll call.
Mr. Calfee,
Here.
Ms. West,
Here.
Mr. Moskin, Ms. Michael,
Here.
Mr. Karas, Ms. Wood,
Here.
Mr. Harper.
Here.
And looks like Paul was there, he was just on mute.
Okay, I just got it unmuted.
Perfect.
All right, well, we've only got one item on the agenda, which is ordinance number 2021-61.
An ordinance to appropriate an amount not to exceed $40,000 from the Capital Improvement Fund to fix the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning HVAC system in the police department and declaring an emergency.
And Chief sent around some information, so Chief, Brian, I'll throw it to you guys.
I sent the email out to Brian and the mayor and Amy last week, and I don't know, did anybody have any questions about that? Did they want some more of the background, or was the email, did that explain why I'm asking for the money to fix the HVAC in the building?
It's understandable. I just have one question.
Okay.
Will this cover the main area? What I'm referring to is where the break room is, the hallway, and the where prisoners are brought in for questioning and things of that nature.
Yeah, so 10 years ago, whenever we were having issues with the unit that's in there now, we decided, because we don't, the other parts of the building, you know, the majority of the time the officers are in the squad room in that area doing reports. So we ended up putting a room unit in there, which attached to the wall. But after 10 years, it was it ran almost constantly, because it was constantly trying to, the rest of the building was so warm. So whenever it broke, we ended up looking to see what it would cost to maybe put a couple more units in some of the other rooms that we had. And the one quote we had just for 2 rooms was $13,000. So I asked the company that was looking at it initially to come out and give us a cost, what it would to repair so we would have air on the whole second floor. So that quote that was attached to the email would fix the air in that whole second floor area.
Okay, that's good, because, okay, that's understandable. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Just real quick, I've only got one quote, but I talked to Brian today, and I talked to Amy, and you know, the threshold is $50,000 to bid this out. But I wanted to do some due diligence to make sure that we're getting the best deal. But the company that we have had come in and do some work for us most recently, they've not, I feel, gouged us as far as the times that they've come in to look at stuff. And they actually, because it was so bad in the squadron, they have a portable air condition that they let us use, and we're venting that off into the ceiling so that at least the guys can go in and do the reports. And they don't spend a lot of time on station, but they can go in there and it's semi-comfortable with a fan blowing and that AC. it's still working pretty hard, but, you know, I feel that the company that we've been using and got the quote from, they've been pretty fair, but just to see what other companies were going to charge us. Johnson Controls is supposed to come tomorrow, and Greer Heating and Air Conditioning was supposed to come last week. I'm hoping they'll come sometime this week and give us what it would cost for them to fix it also.
Well, the other thing, like I talked with you today about, Jeff, is, being able to fix it is one thing, but having the manpower to fix it is another thing. So if, the company that you're comfortable with has the manpower to do it, and you're not having to wait, all of summer to get it fixed, that's the important thing too. Cause I know there's a huge need for manpower in a lot of these companies. So a lot of these companies are getting booked out until almost to the end of summer for air conditioning. So I wouldn't want to see you guys suffer, with no air conditioning.
Right.
I was in there recently, and I believe if all possible, if it could be done very quickly, if there could be a reputable company that can do this.
Yeah, I agree.
Chief, I noticed there were a couple options. Have you guys decided which option you guys are leaning towards?
Yeah, the second option that was on, I think that quote, the second option that was the cheapest was the one that actually fixed, so there would be heating and cooling. So for some reason it was less money than it was just that first option. So the first option was like 28,000, and the first option was 28 to 29,000, and the second option was pretty close, but just under that. But I think we're going to go and try to get it so even in the wintertime, we're still having, because the air handler wasn't working properly, we still had to use those space heaters in the squad room in the wintertime and in other areas, so that the building was warm. As hot as it gets in the summertime, it gets cold in the wintertime also.
Chief, there's the quote for 27,262 that you were talking about, the one with the air conditioning and heat. How does the other quote from Beckwith play into this? The one where they're going to install a 2-ton Daikin in 2 different places. That's the one that totals to 13,000. Is that a separate bid? Is that an additional thing to the 27? What's that?
Those were, so right now, that quote was for each of those room units like we have in the squadron now. Those cost, I want to say that quote, I don't have it up on my computer screen, but it's like $5,600.
Yeah, 58 and 56.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to replace the one that we have now, so to get those, well, the one, I think for the one for 5,600 was just to replace the one in the squadron because the wiring is already there. And then to put the one in the supervisor's office, which is an area that has you can't even open a window in there. I think that was 58 because they had to do some wiring.
Mm-hmm.
Just to get those two rooms to work properly was 13,000, and that's why I had Beckwith come in and give us an estimate to see what it would just fix the problem for the whole.
Okay. Yeah. So those are moot then. That
Yes.
quote, the 27,000 covers those areas. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Well, if there are no other questions, we have a motion to waive the 3 separate readings on this ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Calfee,
Yes.
Ms. Michael,
Yes.
Ms. West,
Yes.
Mr. Moskin,
Yes.
Ms. Wood,
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes.
And do we have a motion to adopt the emergency clause?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Harper,
Yes.
Ms. West,
Yes.
Mr. Calfee,
Yes.
Mr. Moskin,
Yes.
Ms. Michael,
Yes.
Ms. Wood,
Yes.
And do we have a motion to pass the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Kelly,
Yes.
Ms. West,
Yes.
Mr. Moskin,
Yes.
Ms. Michael,
Yes.
Ms. Wood,
Yes.
Mr. Harper.
Yes.
All right, that ordinance is passed. That's the only thing on the agenda. So thanks, Chief, Brian, Amy.
Thank
for your
you.
work on that.
Yep.
And we will see you all next Monday in person.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, thank you.
Tuesday,
Thank
that's
you, Mayor.
right.
Tuesday. Happy 4th of July.
You too.